I think the churches need to ask themselves how we as a church can do the work of an evangelist, not we as individuals alone, but the church itself.
Church was planted 5 years ago, and we ended up out in this area on Forest Brook Road in Myrtle Beach. And this place where we're sitting right now was a Christian Missionary Alliance church. So we had to build an altar rail. We had to build an altar table. We had to rearrange some of the walls in the building to accommodate what we wanted to do ministry-wise.
I actually never went to church. I wasn't brought up in church.
Yeah, Adam came. Of course, Steve, brought him in to work on the church because he had been doing work for Steve.
I didn't. I just didn't have a relationship with God. I didn't. It just didn't mean anything to me. It had no meaning for me.
Steve was consistently asking him to come to church and telling him that he needed something more in his life.
I was just involved in life, being busy, working really hard, trying to succeed, but just not, like I said, I just had no relationship with God.
I do remember Steve calling me, and he said, we need to pray for Adam. He has had a cerebral hemorrhage.
It was November 25th. It was a month before Christmas. Sunday after Thanksgiving, I had worked all day, come home, fire was rolling, Adam was home with the kids, and it seemed like everything was perfect.
I stood up, had a very strange headache, and very quickly, ended up on the floor looking at the tile.
The first thing that we heard about Adam after he got down to Charleston was that he had next to no chance to survive.
And I think Steve, if he didn't call or text every day, if not multiple times a day.
At that time, I did what we typically do, and that's calling our prayer warriors. Of course, the whole church started praying for him because we had all seen him, and we knew who he was, and we also knew that he was not a Christian.
And I kept thinking about all this prayer going through everything. And I was like, if you could only hear this, Adam, because coma, he was just totally out.
But he gradually began to get better, and we continued to pray. And over a couple of months, he finally was released from the hospital and came back home.
I knew when I was out at home, even on a walker, I wanted to come to church. I wanted to come to this church. So, as soon as I could physically do it, which was, a while, and I think I might have been in a wheelchair the first couple of trips, but I came and I've never stopped. I love it.
That is the end result of salvation, is that 1 John 1:3, John says, "We proclaim to you that which we have seen and heard, that you may have fellowship with us, and our fellowship is with God the Father and His Son Jesus Christ." In the end result, in eternity, we live in fellowship with God, and that koinonia, that means holding things in common. And what we hold in common is our faith in Jesus, our common existence, our common life together, and our common mission. And the church wanted to bring Adam into that.